Hello everyone, welcome to Grade 9 HALINA'T MATH-TUTO Learning Mathematics in the New Normal at Dasmariñas North National High School. And today's lesson is about the remaining variation lesson, which are combined and joint variation. So the first is joint variation. So the objectives in this lesson, the learner will be able to: Number 1. Define and illustrate situation involving joint variation. Number 2. Translate into variation statement a relationship involving joint variation. And number 3. Appreciate the concept of joint variation in real-life situation. And lastly, solve worded problems involving joint variation. For the most essential learning competencies, MELC, illustrate situation that involves the following variation. Letter A, direct. Letter B, inverse. Letter C, joint. And last is combined. Translate into variation statement a relationship between two quantities given by letter A table of values. Letter B, a mathematical equation. Letter C, a graph, and vice versa. Okay, class. So, bago tayo mag-discuss, let us answer this activity. Complete the table by finding the length, width, and area of each rectangle. So, the first example is rectangle A, wherein yung length daw is 3 units. So, paano nangyaring ang length niya is 3 units? So, pag sinabing length, tumutukoy siya sa haba. So, 1, 2, and 3. So, kaya ang length ng rectangle A is we have 3 units. How about the width? Kapal. So, tumutukoy ang width sa kapal, which is meron lang siyang isa or 1 unit. And then, for the area, we will just multiply 3 times 1, or yung lahat ng unit, which is 3 times 1 is 3. And then, since unit multiply by unit, that is square unit. So, laging may square unit ang ating area. So, let us answer rectangle B. So, sa rectangle B, ano daw yung haba ni rectangle B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, sa length, we have how many units, class? We have 6 units. So, width, we have 1 unit. And for the area, 6 unit times 1 unit, that is 6 times 1, 6 square unit. Okay, how about letter C? What is the length? Bilangin na lang natin. Huwag na nating para tayong kinder nun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, 9 units. How about the length? We have 1 unit. So, the final answer for the area is 9 times 1. That is 9 square unit. How about D? Ayan, medyo makapal na siya. So, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units. 6 units. And then, sa width, kano yung kapal niya? We have 1 and 2. So, we have 2 unit. So, for the area, 6 times 2, that is 12 square unit. Units, sorry. So, that is 12 square units. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, kaysa bilangin nyo, multiply nyo na lang. So, may shortcut siya. How about the length of letter E? So, ganun din. Halos magkasing haba lang naman. So, We have, how many units? 6 units. Pero hindi sila magkasing kapal. Kasi ang unit ng width nito is 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 units. And then 6 times 3, that is, how many units, class? 18 square units. And last, letter F. Magkasing haba lang ulit, class. Shortcut na yan. So we have 6 units. And then for the width, hindi sila magkasing kapal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Napakadali lang yung sagutan. 4 units. And 6 times 4, that is 24 square units. Okay, so natapos na natin. So joint variation. Joint variation is when a variable varies directly with 2 or more. So 2 or more other variables. In other words, it's just a direct proportion with multiple variables. Para lang din siyang class direct variation, pero with multiple variable or mas marami siyang variable. The statement y varies directly with both x and z means y is equal to kx z. So how? Y varies directly. So meron ka ng constant as both x and z. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, para lang siyang direct variation means y is equal to kxz or k is equal to yxz, where k is positive constant. That means it doesn't change even x and y and z do. This constant is called constant of proportionality. So, paano nakuha si k? So, since we have y is equal to k x z, so k lang ang kailangan para mawala yung katabi ni k, syempre, a division, property of equality. So, z, xz, xz. So, k is equals to y over xz. So, ganun lang siya kadali nakuha. So, class, for the examples na gagawin natin, V varies jointly as L, W, and H. So, ganito lang siya kasimple. V varies jointly. So, meron kang K na maliit as L, W, and H. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging sagot. Okay, V is equals to K, L, W, H. Number 2. The electrical voltage varies jointly as the current and the resistance, which is represented by letter R. So, the electrical voltage, that is letter V, varies jointly. So, may K as current, which is I, and resistant, capital R. So, tingnan natin kung tama siya. V is equal to K, I, R. So, tanong, sir, paano po pag nagkabaliktad to? Kagaya nito. R tsaka I. Halimbawa ito, sir, nagkabaliktad W and L. Mali po ba yung sagot namin? So, okay lang na magkabaliktad si I at R since that is multiplication. So, pagka may ganung tanong, pag may mga ganung sagot, okay lang since that is multiplication. Okay lang na mauna si R kesa kay I. Okay, class. So, for the example, Z varies jointly as X and Y. So, para mas mapadali natin, class, underline na natin yung mga kailangan. If z is 60, when x is equals to 5, and y is equals to 6, find z when x is equals to 7, and y is equals to 6. Mas madali siya para hindi na tayo malilito mamaya. So, ano ba yung first step, class? For the solution, write the correct equation. So, for the solution, z varies jointly as x and y. So, z varies jointly. So, k constant as x and y. So, ganun lang kasimple. Tignan na natin kung tama. Very good. Pwede rin siyang y and x. So, next step is use the information given in the problem to find the value of k. So, meron naman tayong mga information yung in-underline natin. If z is 60, when k ang hinahanap, x is equals to 5 multiplied by 6. So, 60 is equal to k, 5 times 6, that is 30 or 30. Para mawala yung katabi ni k, which is 30, division property of equality, divide both sides by 30. 30, 60 divided by 30, that is 2. We found the value of k, which is 2. Tingnan natin kung tama. Very good. K is equals to 2. And then the next step is to rewrite the equation on step 1, substituting the value of k. Since we have the value of k, pwede na natin siyang i-substitute. So, z is equals to k, x, y. So, k is equals to 2. Ayan siya. Sinubstitute na yung value ni k. Now, after that, use the information found in step number 3, remaining the information given in the problem to answer the question. So, doon na tayo sa binulugan natin. Ang hinahanap natin is z. So, nawawala si z. May value na tayo ng constant, which is 2. So, ang x natin is 7. And y natin is equals to 6. So, 2 times 7, that is 14. Z is equals to 14 times 6. So, the answer would be Z is equals to 14 times 6, 84. So, nahanap na natin si Z. Tignan natin kung tama yung sagot natin. So, Z is equals to 84. Natakpan lang. Okay, class. For example number 2, if y varies jointly with the product of x and z and y is equals to 105 when x is equals to 5 and z is equal to 7. Find y when x is equals to 9 and z is equals to 10. So class, in-underline ko na ulit para mas madali nating hanapin mamaya. Okay, so for the solution, ano yung laging step 1? Step 1, write the correct equation. So gagawin natin, rewrite natin yung equation. If y varies jointly, so k, with the product of x and z. So, yan na yung ating magiging equation where k is constant. Okay, so step number 2, tama tayo. So, step number 2, use the information given in the problem to find the value of k. So, yung mga information kanina na in-underline natin, yan ay gagamitin natin. So, ang hinahanap ngayon ay k. So, sabi, y is 105 when k ang hinahanap, x is equals to 5 and z is equals to 7. So, tingnan nga natin kung tama. Okay, tama siya. So, 105 is equal to k multiplied by 35. And then, kailangan lang natin k. So, divide both sides by 35 para ma-eliminate yung katabi ni k, which is 35. So, k is equal to 105 divided by 35, that is 3. So, tingnan natin kung tama. K is equals to 3. So, for the next step, write the equation of step 1 by substituting in the value of k found in step number 2. Okay, so ang gagawin natin ngayon, i-substitute na natin yung k. So, y is, ano yung value ni k mo ngayon? 3. 3x say. So, next step. Oh, so, tama naman siya. Pwede rin siya magkabaliktad, class, ah. This is the equation found in step 3 and the remaining information given in the problem to answer the question asked. So, yung mga ginuhitan natin kanina, yan na yung ating gagamitin na panibago. Find y. So, ang hinahanap natin ngayon is y. So, meron tayong constant when x is equals to 9 and z is equals to 10. So, ngayon, multiplication na lang. Pwede kayo mag-calcu or madali lang naman din naman. 3 times 9, that is 27 times 10. Y is equals to 270. So, ang hinahanap ay y. Nakuha natin. So, tingnan nga natin kung tama. 3xy, 3 times 9 times 10, that is 270. So, the last problem would be a worded problem. The area of a triangle varies jointly as its base and height. So, the area is 75 cm squared when its base is 10 cm and height is 10 cm. What will be the area if the base is 10 cm and the height is 20 cm? So, na-underline mo na yung mga kailangan. Ano yung first step natin lagi? Find the equation. So, the area. So, malaking letter yung area of a triangle varies jointly. So, K, small, as its base, letter B, and its height. So, ganyan yung magiging itsura ng ating equation. So, ano yung next step natin, class? So, ano yung hanapin natin? Letter K. So, the area is 75 cm squared. 75 cm squared. Hindi ko na tinanggal yung unit para mas maintindihan nyo. Constant yung hahanapin. What is the base? When 75 cm, the base is 10 centimeter. And its height is 15 centimeter. Okay. So, ang hanapin natin is K. 75 cm squared is equal to K. 10 times 15, that is 150. And then cm times cm, that is cm squared or square unit. Okay. So, ang kailangan lang natin is K. So, K lang ang kailangan. So, para mawala yung katabi ni K, multiply both sides. Divide both sides by 150 cm squared. Kasi sinasama ko unit, cancel, cancel. Cancel, cancel. So, ang lalagay mo din dito, 150 cm squared. So, K is equal to 75. Parehas divisible by 75. So, that is 1/2. So, K is equal to 1/2. So, nakuha natin yung constant of variation. Ngayon, magagamit na natin siya para ma-solve yung hinahanap. What will be the area? So, A is equals to 1/2. Yung constant na nakuha natin. Ano na yung bago niyang base? Kasi what will be the area if the base? So, ano ba yung bagong base? 10 cm. And its height is 20 cm. So, gusto ko lang panotice sa inyo na area ang hinahanap. So, dapat ang magiging sagot natin, merong square unit na centimeter. So, A is equal to 1/2. 10 times 20, that is 200. cm times cm, that is cm squared. So, the area is 100 to 1/2 multiplied by 200 cm squared, or 200 divided by 2. So, 200 divided by 2, that is 100. And then, wala naman nag-divide sa cm. So, cm squared. So, area kasi hinahanap, kaya dapat cm squared. So, madali lang naman siya. Thank you. And then, we will discuss next what is a combined variation. So, the last kind of variation would be combined variation. For the objectives in this lesson, the learner will be able to: number 1, define and illustrate situation involving combined variation. Number 2, translate into variation statement a relationship involving combined variation. Number 3, appreciate the concept of combined variation in real-life situation. And last, solve for word problems involving combined variations. So for the most essential learning competency, illustrate a situation that involves the following: variation, direct, inverse, joint, combined variation, translate into variation, statement, relationship between two quantities given by a table, values, mathematical equation, graph, and vice versa. Solve problem involving variation. So this type of equation, combined variation, will require mastery. So kailangan daw meron tayong mastery. From the word itself, combine. So the first three types of variation, the name itself suggests that you needed to work on variation problems which are combination of direct, inverse, and joint. Kaya din siya yung last variation kasi sa combined variation, pinagsama-sama natin yung tatlong variation. Combined variation, if the situation is modeled by an equation form y is equals to kx over z, where k is non-zero constant, we say that y, so ayan na siya. Paano siya naging ganon? So since kailangan nating mastery nung tatlo, so kailangan marunong ka magsulat ng variation. So depende dun sa binabanggit. So we can say that y varies directly, so k, as x. So y varies directly as x, and inversely as z. So ganyan yung mangyayari sa combined variation. So kaya siya y is equal to kx over z. Hindi pwede magkabaliktad yung nasa taas at nasa baba. Mamamali kayo dun. So translate the following into mathematical equation. So A varies directly as B and inversely as C. So madali lang yan, class. A varies directly. So K as B. So that is direct. And then merong inverse and inversely as C. So tignan natin kung tama. Okay, tama naman tayo. Next, number 2. P varies directly as Q and inversely as R. So yung P daw varies directly as Q. So that is direct, and then merong inverse and inversely as R. Okay, so P is equal to KQ divided by R. Tignan natin. Very good. So for the first example natin na may variable M varies directly as N and inversely as O. When M is equals to 8, N is equals to 4, O is equals to 2. Find M when N is equal to 6 and O is equal to 7. So lagi kong binabanggit na pinakauna natin is lagyan nyo muna ng palatandaan ano yung mga hinahanap. So first step, ganun pa rin. Write the correct equation. So ano kaya yung correct equation nito? M varies directly as N. So para lang siyang direct, M varies directly as N and inversely as O. So tingnan natin kung tama. Tama naman. Next, use the information given in the problem to find the value of K. So pwede na natin ngayon gamitin yung mga information given. So yung M natin is 8, K ang hinahanap Ano yung n? That is 4 over 2. So, let us check. Okay. Next. So, cross multiply or cross multiply 8 times 2 and then is equal to 4k. So, 4k kasi lagi nauuna yung coefficient bago yung variable. So, magiging 8 times 2, that is 16. So, 4k is equal to 8 times 2, that is 16. Divide both sides by 4. K is equals to 4. So, tingnan natin kung magiging tama siya. Divide both sides by 4. K is equal to 4. So, next, write the equation in step 1, substituting the value of K found in step 2. So, since nahanap na natin yung K, which is 4, pwede na natin siyang i-substitute sa equation, which is M is equal to Kn over O. M is equals to K, which is 4, N over 4. So, mas madali na natin mahanap. And then, use the equation found in step number 3 and the remaining information given into the problem. So, ano ba yung remaining information? Ano hinahanap natin, class? Yung M. Yung nakabilog is equal to, meron na ba tayong K? Meron na. What is the K? That is 4. 4. Anong N natin na panibago? That is 6 over 7. So, 4 times 6 divided by 7. Check natin kung tama. And then the final answer would be 4 times 6, that is 24, divided by 7. So, 24 divided by 7, the answer would be 3.43. Final answer is 3.43. Even you check on your calculator, 24 divided by 7. Okay, so for the last problem, which involves a worded problem on combined variation. So the speed of a moving object varies directly as its distance travel and inversely as the time taken. So ito na application. So sa speed pala siya applicable. So when S is equals to 25, D is equals to 5, T is equals to 15. Find the speed when D is equals to 100 and time is equals to 10. So, malalaman natin ang speed. Ano ba ang speed? Yun yung merong kilometer per hour. Sa sasakyan siya mostly. So, first step is always find the equation. So, the speed. So, S of a moving object varies directly. So, maglagay ka na agad ng K as the distance travel. So, that is direct and then merong inverse. And inversely as the time taken. So, yan ay magiging equation natin. Then, substitute S is equal to 25. So, mali ako doon. So, 25 is equal to K ang hinahanap. And then, the distance is 5 divided by 15. So, yan na yung isa-substitute natin. So, 25 times 15 K divided by 5. 25 times 15. K divided times 5. And then, so 25 times 15. Ano sagot? That is 375 is equal to K multiplied by 5. So, here, divide both sides by 5. Divide both sides by 5. So, K is equal to 375 divided by 5. That is 75. So, naintindihan po? Meron na tayong constant of variation. Ngayon, anong hinahanap? Speed. So, substitute mo na. S is equals to 75 ang constant of variation. Then the distance, when the distance is 100. And the time is, so sa babaan time, 10. Okay. So, mumultiply natin. S is 75 times 100. That would be 7,500 divided by 10. That is S is equal to 750. Begin. Ito yung final answer, which is 750. So, madali lang naman siya. Yun na yung huling example. Madali lang naman siya. Salamat sa inyong panonood or pakikinig. Huwag niyong kalimutang i-like or mag-comment and mag-subscribe kayo dito sa channel na to para updated kayo sa mga lesson natin, mapa-modular man yan or online. Thank you, Nortanista, and goodbye.